Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Magic Square MS-04 Munitioner, their version of a masterpiece scale Swindle. You can see them there in front of the box. Go ahead and put it off to the side real quick and take a look at that box. And yes, it is a Magic Square box with a bit of a masterpiece bend, I guess. You got Magic Square up here, barely. You got Magic Square up there, ages 16 plus, because it's not for children. You got a nice bit of artwork of Swindle, looking very trustworthy. You got Magic Square MS-04 Munitioner down there, and changes armored Jeep to robot in back. Warning, not for children in 3 years, and the little logo right there. You got Magic Square in a picture, the picture again. You got, hey, look, Magic Square, a bit of a 80s G1 stuff right there, although late 80s if anything. On this side you have the same thing. Oh look, there's an outline of the Jeep mode, and on this bottom you have a warning. Multiple warnings right there. And on the back you have a nice little picture of, well, a silhouette of Jeep and sunset or whatever, and again, barcode, made in China, not for 3 years old, recycled, all this stuff. And of course some tech spec stuff if that's interesting to you whatsoever. And of course in the box you have all the instructions, which are, they're Magic Square instructions, which means there feels like that this kind of gloss over a lot of really important things. But yeah, they're there. They can give you a basic guideline for how to transform this thing. Although there's definitely stuff you're going to have to figure out yourself. And of course there's the bio card, which again, it's a nice bit of plastic right there. Yeah, but a sleeve, you got the picture again. And on the back you have the silhouette and the tech specs again as well. So there you go. So, Munitioner. Yep, again, Magic Square's, Magic Square doing Swindle again, except in masterpiece scale. Let's down a little bit, there we go. Yep, down to masterpiece scale now, or up in masterpiece scale, I should say. Yeah, getting a little bit closer. You can see a nice well, it's pretty much just kind of that weird golden color with some purple on the hood. Overall, some gunmetal gray for the rims right there. Nice little steering wheel. The seats right here, you can see, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but they are have a textured feel to them, so they're kind of like actual seats, which is pretty cool. It's got its bumper with the winch and everything, kind of a black plastic there. You got the headlights, which are just translucent plastics. You can see the the pegs for how they peg in there, unfortunately, which makes it look like he's got kind of like a very surprised look on his face all the time, if that's the face. Yeah, you can see all that stuff right there. Back doesn't really have anything right now anyway. Bottom, you can see some robot parts and of course the fake wheels and everything, and there is very little ground clearance as well. You can see that, but he does, as you can see, roll pretty darn well. So there's that. He does of course come with several accessories which work in this mode, namely the gun bits right here, which, well, to get those on you have to split this right there, and then this right here, you can see there's kind of tabs right there. Just, the lower tabs go slot in right here, like that, and then it's just push it back together like that. And the guns here, right here, you get to this big old hole, peg hole right there that this big peg right here goes into, like so. And this right here has a little peg right here which goes in that little hole right there. And is that, and of course the other accessory, which is spare tire, which there's two slots right here and there's two tabs on here, and there you go. There you get the complete Munitioner and his alt modes. There you go. It looks pretty nice overall. We got the faux cockpit and everything with steering wheel, which the steering wheel doesn't rotate or anything. It's just I think that's just nylon plastic right there. Yeah, overall looks pretty good. It's just a Jeep. One thing would be, yeah, even though it's a Jeep should have higher ground clearance than this, but reality of the situation. Here's a couple other accessories, but those are for other modes. I'll get into those over time. But yeah, overall, it's a nice looking Jeep, I guess. Also, yeah, again, translucent windshield. You can see that right there. Again, same translucent, kind of smoky, clear, smoky translucent plastic right there. I believe that's an insert. I'm not sure though. It might actually be paint. I'm not entirely certain on that. Yeah. So there you go. That's pretty straightforward. Nothing too special about it. It's a Swindle. I will say, actually, if you didn't see it before, transforming it, I'm unfortunately experiencing some paint scuffing right here. This is just from transforming it, so be mindful of that. This one's outside, it's not so bad, but definitely I got some pretty nasty paint scuffing right here on this edge. So yeah, just be mindful. The paint is not the greatest, unfortunately, it seems like. So yeah, a couple other things I'll go over in the different modes, because yeah, there's definitely some other complaints I have. But real quick, some comparisons. So here he is with his, well, Legend Scale version. This is the IDW version because I sold off the Toon one. Yeah, this again, you can see very different shades of yellow here because this was not the C variant. The C variant they just released a little bit ago will be closer matched to this overall. So there you go on that. Just to give you an idea. That front. Here he is with the MMC's Fraudo, you know, their version of Swindle. You see, you know, pretty similar actually in some ways, but you know, Munitioner is, you can see, a smidge bigger. Munitioner is a smidge bigger there. You can see that overall. But they also have some similar ideas and stuff, and also very similar ground clearances as well. So there's that. And the final point of comparison, or in this combined mode, or the alt mode here, he is next to his teammate. There's Heavy Gunner / Brawl. So there you go. Brawl actually winds up being actually overall somewhat bigger, but you know, it's kind of interesting how they transformed and achieved that. So there you go. 2 of the 5. Apparently Onslaught is the next one, as supposedly. So there you go. So that's it for this vehicle mode. I'm going to go ahead and get them transformed into combined mode, and we'll go from there. Yep, that sure is a leg mode. You can see, yeah, it's actually not too difficult to get to leg mode from combined mode, honestly. But you know, there's a little bit there. But yeah, overall, yeah, you can see, yeah, it's again the gray foot with the yellow backing. Yeah, okay, yeah, the more this release is much more the cartoons or toy style, and the cartoon accessories will be coming in a separate thing. I think they confirmed that so shortly after I filmed the last one. So yeah, cartoon accessory sort of thing. But yeah, you can see that, you know, it's pretty straightforward as a leg, you know. Heckin' ratchets right there and everything, so yeah. There's that. It's pretty straightforward as a whole. So again, more comparison stuff. Here it is with the Legends release, you know. The IDW, again, the IDW version. Like so. You see that. The whole. Yep. You can see as a whole, yep. That's pretty much fairly similar. The seats, as far as I can tell, are supposed to stay out in this one. I had looked it up, and it might be theoretically possible to fold them away, but it's such a pain in the butt that is it really worth the effort. What is that? Here it is with MMC's Fraudo again. Funny enough, despite the fact that everyone heralds in the whole cartoon accuracy, MC Magic Square themselves heralding themselves as, you know, the most cartoon accurate. MMC's leg is closer to being cartoon accurate. The leg mode is much more closer to be cartoon accurate than this one, because if you remember in the cartoon it was kind of just a block with some purple striping on it. So there's that. And by the way, I almost forgot to mention, because the original Legends release of this that I showed off, almost forgot, which is it had that whole thing to change how it looks, so you could basically reverse Munitioner here and turn them around and show how the this end on the front. You can't do that anymore. They removed that engineering. That engineering is not here, so you can't spin it around and have it showing. It's just not there anymore. So there's that. And oh yeah, of course, just because it's here, why not? Here's Heavy Gunner. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, they're pretty tall, pretty large. Here is Bruticus is going to be big when it's all said and done. So there you go. Yeah, there's that. And as far as I can tell, there's nowhere for this stuff to really store, not easily anyway. I thought maybe this peg hole would do, because, like, you know, there's a peg hole here. I thought maybe you could do something with that. You know, there's a peg here, and I thought maybe, but it doesn't seem to fit. If it does, yeah, I was hoping that maybe this would work, but it doesn't seem to work at all. I was like, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's not going in there. So I was hoping. This peg hole is a smidge bigger. This would be able to just store on the back like this, you know, but unfortunately that's not the case. You could leave it on there, I guess, but that would make a kind of weirdly bulky leg, so I guess you can't do that, but I personally think that would look a little goofy, so do what you will. So anyway, I'm gonna go get ahead and get him into his robot mode, and then yeah, we're gonna keep going on this. So yeah, Munitioner in robot mode. Yes, so getting there. Transformation is very similar to the Legends Class 1, except a little refined here there. So yeah, there's definitely complication, mostly the legs. The legs in particular can be a little annoying to deal with, but at this, it's that thing of the trade-off, weirdly enough. The Legends Class version has difficulty because it's so small, it can be hard to maneuver it, but this one has the problem of the ABS plastic makes it so it's, you know, you can't flex things as much. So it's much like the heavy gunner brawl. There's a trade-off. The larger size does make it a little easier in some ways, but the ABS plastic versus nylon plastic kind of really hurts it in some others. But overall, you do get a pretty darn good looking, well, Swindle looking thing. I mean, you got the windshield chest, you got the headlights on the waist and everything, you got the little wheels, you know, full wheels there and full wheels there. Cleans up really nicely. Again, that's one of the things, refinements, that they actually filled in the back of the legs a little bit nicer. This is a little bit nicer because the bumper is now hidden away. Yeah, so just generally a little bits of improvements here and there, and just over the Legends version. But yeah, just again the nice yellow, kind of the golden yellow overall, the purple chest in there. They got the head right there with the purple goggles, kind of crown looking thing, gray face, all that stuff. Looks good. Accessories, of course. So again, the spare tire. You can tab on the back here because that's where it's supposed to go. Right there. Let's get the spare tire. Like that. As for this stuff, well, a couple things you can do here. One, this can peg on a couple ways. There's, you know, peg holes in the sides of either arm, so you can peg it into the sides. Initial first time, much like a heavy gunner. You might have some difficulty initially getting everything pegged in, but you know, once you work it in, you know, it should work just fine. So you can peg it inside there. There's also this tab or slot right there in the front of the arm, and there's a tab right here. You can tab it in right here because, you know, he often had his gun mounted to the front of his arm because reasons. So you can tab it in right there if you want. As for these guys, of course, this one, you know, a little peg right here. You pull that on. Hey, look, now there's a handle, so you can hold that in his hand. And of course, there's a tab on the handle, and open up the palm, and there's a slot right there. Don't drop it. And yep. That's one hand. Okay, of course, the problem is the thumb here. Okay, so that's one hand holding things. And this also, you can, I forgot to mention the alt mode thing, you can twist it. I forgot that, so you can aim the guns back and forth. So I forgot about that. But yeah, this also has a handle which means, yeah, so for that, yeah, you can have both hands at the same time to get that out of the way. You have to pick this to the side if you want to have all the weapons held at the same time. So yeah, that just go in the hand like so. Supposed to tab in. On mine it doesn't tab in super securely. The tab and slot here seem to be not quite the right side or something. I think the tab's too small. Yeah, the other gun holds just fine, but this one does not. Of course, it doesn't barely looks like a gun. It looks, I'm not sure what that is exactly. Doesn't really look like a gun to me, but they made it so you can hold it. So there's that. I don't know, maybe there's a price scanner. Yeah, you can pretty much hold all the accessories except for, of course, this thing. But one other accessory he does have, which is actually an alternate face. Right now he's got this kind of how you see that's kind of a more stoic face, and he's got, well, this smirking face. And swapping out is pretty easy. You just kind of lift the head up and under the chin, untab it, and then tab in the other face. And this is the one I'm definitely leaving on him from here on out because, yep, that's a Swindle face, all right. That is a Swindle face. There's one alternate face. That's pretty cool. Yeah, let me get these out of the way real quick because posability. Posability, head, you got left and right, you got up and down because it's a, swivel and a hinge right there. So no waggle. His arms do a full 360. That kiss came off. Go outward right there, and then there's another hinge from the transformation, so you can go out pretty far like that. So you do have the bicep swivel right there, elbow, single hinge, but good amount of curl right there. The hands right here, you do have wrist swivel as usual. You do have this hinge right here, so you can move the hand outward, and of course the fingers. Well, you got the thumb on the ball joint right there. Actually, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. The thumb's on the ball joint, and then you got a hinge, above that, and the fingers all here have two hinges right here, one at the base and one at the knuckle, and these three fingers are fused together, and yeah, hinge at the base and hinge at the mid knuckle right there, and there you go. Yeah, no splay like Brawl did. The hands are a bit smaller than Brawl, so yeah, no splay here. So if you're looking for that, sorry. That's that. Waist swivels freely. There is no problem there. Closing that up. There is an ab crunch, although it's kind of weirdly limited, surprisingly limited. He only bends that far because, yeah, there's the hinges there, so you can actually bend backwards pretty far, but forward, it only gets a little bit. I'm not sure what that's about. It's kind of weird to me that it's limited forward. Actually you can kind of, if you're you can get that pretty much that much total, but yeah, it's just weird that it feels backwards. Down here at the waist or the hips, though, you get to get this hip skirt out of the way to move forward, but hips move forward that far, you can hear it click, and yeah, it does that sort of thing. And people have noticed that this definitely catches on mine. Does catch too, but it's not as bad. There's also another hinge right here as well, so you can do some stuff with that, I guess, maybe. And there's a hinge right here as well. This flap can out away, so it can go far back that far. Outward, you do have pretty much the full splits and then some. That's how far it goes out. It goes. You do have a thigh swivel, which is pretty good overall. Knees are double jointed, so you got that much bend. And down here at the ankles, you do have ankle tilt right there. There's right hinge, swivel hinge right here. It's mostly for transformation, but can I guess help tilt further or something. You also have outward tilt technically as well, and then thanks to also transformation, you do have a slight bit of toe as well. So there you go. Posability overall very good for a Masterpiece figure. Overall, mostly the hips can be a little annoying. I'm not having too much difficulty with it personally, but I know some people have been having trouble and have been resorting to going in there shaving plastic and whatnot. So there you go. Speaking of shaving plastic, yeah, I had to do that on this. This is a peg, the peg to help put the alt mode together. I had to shave this down because it was not coming together, and I did a little too much. It's a little messy, but yeah, I had to shave it down because it was way too tight. Normally for this sort of thing, I'd be like, yeah, no. I'd be like, yeah, don't shave things down, just break it in, because this is definitely like that's one thing. It's definitely like their Brawl, which is you have to break it in first because a lot of the paint and stuff kind of gets in the way. So you have to break things in the first few times. It's going to be a little bit more effort. First few times you transform, it's going to be a lot more effort, and it's going to break in and become easier and easier. But this was just refusing. I could not get this to peg in worth crap, so I had to shave this down a bit. Now it actually works. Now the Jeep mode actually comes together properly, and so there you go. There actually is a hinge there. It's just very slight. I'm not sure, or maybe, I'm not sure. It's moving back and forth. So I don't know. It's very, very small. But yeah, overall. Yeah, Swindle here. Munitioner. He's good. He's got a good look going, and I do generally I like this. I like it a lot. It looks really good. Only thing, some people might complain about the headlights, how these are picked out, because this is just this like weird, like bright blue right here. So some people might not appreciate that, but yeah, it works. It works pretty well, I think. Yeah. So I guess it's Munitioner's robot mode. Gonna go move this back a little bit. Do some comparisons. So yeah, first of all. Here he is with his Legends counterpart. You can see that, yep. Very similar, but yeah, again, the whole thing, you can see how much the back's been cleaned up. You can see the real wheels just sitting there, and they're hidden away a little bit. There we go. Yeah, you can see the back's been cleaned up quite a bit comparatively, which is nice. So is that. Here he is with MMC's Fraudo Swindle. He's a bit taller. A little bit taller. About maybe half a head or so. But yeah, nothing too bad. Nothing too egregious. And again, you can see the color differences a little bit. Yeah, it's still good. This is still good Swindle. And I'm, again, not getting rid of it. So there's that. Here's MP36 Megatron. Just to give you an idea with the Decepticon leader there. Yeah, significantly taller than that. Yeah, is that the MP52 Starscream? Yeah, the official Starscream 2.0. His hands are looking funny. There you go, right there. Yeah, just because I know a lot of people prefer this larger Seekers. Here's the Deformation Space Thundercracker. Just to give you an idea on that front. Again, he's quite a bit taller, so that there. And of course, here he is with his teammate, Heavy Gunner Brawl. He's a bit taller, but that's to be expected. So there you go. So as a whole, Munitioner, pretty good. Yeah, he's got a bit of a complicated transformation. You do have to break it in the first few times, and you may not have to shave down that peg on the leg for the sake of making it work properly. But overall, he's all pretty solid. He's got, he doesn't have too many accessories. They try to do something with that one piece of Swindle almost everyone struggles with. Like, it's always like, what do I do with this? And well, I figured out, well, just turn into a gun, I guess. He's got an extra face, which is cool. Yeah, but transformation's pretty straightforward. His alt mode looks pretty decent overall. Combined mode looks like a leg, and the alt mode the robot mode looks great as a MP cartoon-ish Swindle. If you are, again, if you want the cartoon style period, including the alt mode stuff, they are selling accessory kit, and that'll be coming out some point in the future. Don't know when. Yeah, but overall, it's a good MP. It's a good Swindle. If you don't already have one, this is a good Swindle to get. Yeah, it's a good Swindle overall. And, I know a lot of people are very much want Swindle. And he's one of those Combaticons, because of his personality. He's very much become his own thing in the sense a lot of people get Swindle on his own. So yeah, if you are one of those people who do want Swindle on his own, he is a good Swindle period. He's just a good figure, and but he's also a good part of a combiner as well. So just simply, He's just simply good, and yeah, so all you Swindle fans, definitely, if you haven't already picked him up, you might want to consider this one, especially if you're buying multiple Swindles or something, so, there you go. He's a good figure, and he's about, what was that, from Show Z, he was about $105, I think, before shipping. Something $105, $110, somewhere in that neighborhood, not too bad. So, yeah, that's the only thing, again, just watch out for having to break him in. And on mine, there was definitely some paint scraping, so be careful on that. So, yeah, that's it for this review. I hope you find it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media. It's down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Ko-Fi and my Patreon. And again, thank you guys for being 2,000 subscribers and counting, I guess. And I hope you stick around, because I'm definitely going to keep doing this for a while. Goodbye.